Brodes Media.
What is going on, everyone? I had an opportunity this past Monday to join Marc Farzetta on his own show, Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. Make sure you check it out. It's called The Farzy Show. It's outstanding. But I had an opportunity as a guest to talk about the Phillies, to talk about the Sixers. We threw coffee and ice cream in the mix as well. And this was right after Italy won the soccer tournament, and he's big on that. So we had a lot of fun, and I figured you would love the conversation, so why not upload this to my channel as well? Before I bring you over to that, though, make sure you head on over to my Twitter page, @Brodes81. We are so close to 6,000 followers, so make sure you head on over there and hit that follow button. Also, on YouTube, if you are new to the channel, so close to 18,000 subscribers, so many milestones right in the grasps. Thank you all so much. I mean, it's just that simple. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You are all the best. And with that being said, enjoy the show.
We're rolling. What's up, Hunter Brody? How are you, buddy?
How are you? I'm living the dream. How are you?
Forza Italia, andiamo Italia. Okay, so here's the deal. The Italians just won the Euro Cup. I may or may not have drank 6 things of Peroni and a bottle of wine, more specifically La Brandy. Not brandy for the Metagons that are listening right now. Not brandy, La Brandy, which is a Calabrese vineyard wine distillery, whatever you want to call it. A vineyard, yeah, sure. Where my family's from in Italy, which is the southernmost point of the boot. But anyway, long story short, the Italians win the Euro Cup, which is awesome. I've talked about it already on the air. But while I'm at Grand Cafe L'Aquila in Center City, Philadelphia, 17th and Chestnut, having myself a grand old time, it's packed. All right. When I say it's packed, Hunter Brody joining us here on the Rough and Orthopedics guest line. I'm sitting there. By sitting, I mean standing. And it's at capacity 2 hours ahead of opening kickoff for the Italians and the English. And this guy, like, shimmies past me.
That's a nice shimmy.
Thank you. And he's like, "Hey, Farzetta." And I'm like, "Hello, sir." And he's like, "You know my future brother-in-law." And I'm like, "Okay." And I go, "Who's your future brother-in-law?" He goes, "Hunter Brody." And I was like, "Great idea. I'll have him on the show tomorrow."
Love it. And then I got the text message, and here we are today. This is great.
And here we are today. So you were kind enough to respond, kind enough to come on the show after the Italians. Now I can say this in hindsight. The Italians win the Euro Cup. It's a big day. Everyone was losing their mind at Grand Cafe L'Aquila. I had cousins on cousins texting me. You and I believe, talked off the air 2 or 3 weeks ago about how you are marrying into an Italian family. Is that correct or incorrect?
Well, half of the family is, but what we actually had the conversation was, you liked me more because I told you that my mother's maiden name was Angelini, and then from there you're like, wow, you were like a 6, and now you're maybe an 8 or 9 on my scale here, and that's how we really kind of got into that conversation. Angelini, it's a good one.
Yeah, I'm in what you would call a good mood right now. But with all that being said, down to brass tacks, as we like to call it, the Phillies take 2 out of 3 against the Boston Red Sox. The Phillies took 3 out of 4 against the Chicago Cubs. Phillies are in a good spot heading into the All-Star break until 4 players go on the COVID list. Let me ask you this, Hunter, right out of the gate. Let me ask you this, fourth out of the gate. When it comes to the Phillies, and it comes to the second half of the season, how confident are you this Phillies team can at least give us meaningful games in the second half of September?
I think we'll have meaningful games because the division is where it's at. We are a 44-44 baseball team. That is a 500 baseball team. But the fact that the New York Mets is what's leading the division is going to give us those games that matter. And this is the best way I can lay this out. I'm not the most optimistic guy right now at this baseball team because the defense is atrocious at third base and first base. Your bullpen is still a disaster, even though Ranger Suarez can get you 7-out saves. But what I was feeling emotionally heading into Fenway was games that I was highly interested in. I cared. I wanted to see how they were going to react to that moment after those 2 series wins, even though I know that they are still a flawed baseball team. So when you say meaningful baseball, you'll probably get that due to where the division is, but not because this team is the best team in the world, if that makes sense.
No. It absolutely does. What you're saying is that other teams are going to present opportunities that shouldn't normally be at the hands of teams like the Phillies, but yet they are going to present opportunities to the Phillies at the point that there are right now.
Absolutely, and it puts you in a weird spot if you're Dave Dombrowski, because what's best for this franchise is to sell everyone, is to just sell McCutchen, sell Rhys Hoskins, build up those prospects. That's what's best long-term. But if you look Bryce Harper in the eye, you look JT Realmuto in the eye at the trade deadline-ish area after you play a few more series, and let's say you're 3.5 games back, if you're Dave Dombrowski, how can you do anything other than buy? Because you're telling me you're going to look Bryce Harper in the eye and go, you know what? We're selling anyway. It's a tough spot to be, and I'm glad I'm not making the decision because I'd be selling, damn it.
Well, it brings me to a nice question here, because just a week ago, Rhys Hoskins was talking about how he wants to put the front office in the most difficult situation they could possibly be in when it comes to making decisions to be buyers or sellers come the upcoming, July 31st trade deadline. At the position they're at now, I'd want them to sell. But if you were telling me you got to look Bryce Harper, as you eloquently stated, you got to look Bryce Harper in the eye, or Rhys Hoskins in the eyes, or down the line, Zach Wheeler or Aaron Nola in the eye, and say, sorry, guys, we're trading Alec Boehm. We're trading Bryson Stott, whoever it might be. And you're going to tell me that you're just going to be depleting assets at that point? Yeah, I don't want to be on that bandwagon, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's a tough spot to be in, and it's crazy because they're on this nice run right now, and the way I always put it is all these bad teams, you can look at the worst teams in baseball. They're going to win 2 series in a row at some point. They're going to win a couple series in a row, so that doesn't really change how I feel, but here we are all excited because they did do some damage over the last 3 series, and they're 500. They're 500. You would think, based off of how some fans feel right now, they're 15 games over 500, ready to rock and roll for a real pursuit. They're 500. I mean, this is what this team is. They give you enough to make you feel like there's something there when there's really nothing there. And that's why they're stuck in this spot. And that's why what I think is actually reasonable for this franchise long-term is to sell everything. But I don't think that's what they're going to do. They're probably going to try and make a push.
Yeah, it seems like that right now, especially because they want to justify their own existence with a guy like Dave Dombrowski, with a guy like Joe Girardi, even with a guy like John Middleton. He doesn't want to be a seller for whatever it might be, 3rd or 4th straight year in a row. So I get what you're saying there. As far as Aaron Nola goes, I think we know that Zach Wheeler has become the ace of this pitching staff. Aaron Nola, disappointing year, about what you were expecting, or horribly, obviously I know it's not a horribly impressive year, but disappointing as far as what we've seen so far?
Yeah, definitely disappointing. I think with Aaron Nola, this is where the conversation needs to shift. He had that 1 year a few years ago where he was in the 2.3 ERA Cy Young conversation, but he's been in the league for a long time now. Majority of his years are in that 3.5 ERA range. So that's where I think you need to shift your mindset with Nola. He's not that Cy Young year, but he's also not this where prior to this Nick Pivetta start, Nick Pivetta had a lower ERA than Aaron Nola, as Nola was in that 4.44 range. So I guess your expectations need to be more in that 3.5, which is a good pitcher. It's not a bad pitcher by any means, but it's definitely not that Cy Young year, which was only 1 season. 1 season. That sticks out like a sore thumb more than it is the reality of Aaron Nola. So disappointing because now he's on the opposite side of that, and he's realistically more of a 3.5 range guy if you just look at his numbers throughout his long tenure now. He's been in the league long enough. We have enough of a sample size to know what he is, and it definitely is more of a 3.5 guy, which is fine. It's fine. It's a good pitcher to have, and he can help out your team. But this year, I think he's going to the opposite side. So you had the Cy Young year, you had the middle ground, and now you're having this, which is in the 4s. he's got to get back on track more into the reality.
No, I would 100% agree. Before we shift gears to basketball, I do want to ask you, was your mom celebrating the Italians Euro Championship as much as I was, less than, greater than, whatever? What was she doing tonight?
I'd be shocked if she was watching the soccer game. I'll be honest with you. I'll be very, very shocked. Now, Grandma Jean Angelini, now maybe she was having a couple glasses of red wine, kicking back. You know what I'm saying?
Sorry, there you go. There you
Angelini. Go. I just want to say that more and more so you like me more. I know how you Italians work.
We're a very close-knit group. What can I say? All right. Let me just admit this before we do anything crazy. One of the most recent times we spoke, maybe at the beginning of the playoffs, but maybe even before the playoffs, I had guaranteed you about $50 and then whatever ice cream, a gallon of ice cream you would enjoy, if Doc Rivers went to a bench lineup. Maybe if you're asking me at the end of the season if technically it was a bench lineup or not, I would have said no. But the fact that Doc Rivers went to a lineup so many times that was so prolifically endowed, I guess, with so many bench players, I think what I'm saying is I think I owe you some gelato and some $50 there, my friend.
Oh, okay. How about that? Maybe we can go to Creanies or we can just go on a little ice cream. I like a nice banana split. I'm not going to lie to you.
Really?
Yeah, I love a good banana. I can eat any. I'm one of those non-picky eaters where I think I'm eating chicken and it's tofu, but I don't even know because I just eat whatever's in front of me. There's never been a meal that I don't even like. I'm not a big fan of coconut water or anything coconut related. If it's in front of me, I'm drinking it. I don't even care. I just do. So, whatever comes my way, whatever ice cream we're getting, we're going to end up eating.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. What is the allure of a banana split? I've always wondered this. Why go after the banana split?
I just think it tastes good. What do you mean? You got your vanilla, you got your chocolate, you got your strawberry, you got your banana, you got your cherry stuff, you got your chocolate syrup. It's like a combination of everything. What's there not to like?
I mean, all I'm saying is like I've had a bite of somebody else's banana split, but I have never then sought after the banana split post trial period, I guess.
Well, I mean, that sounds like a personal problem. If I asked you, Farzy, what do you want for ice cream? What's your go-to? Don't tell me like a mint chocolate chip on a waffle cone. No.
First off, mint chocolate chip is the devil's ice cream. All right.
What?
Like if I'm eating mint chocolate chip, that means I got like a dentist appointment tomorrow, but I can't say no to ice cream. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't do that to myself.
No idea what that means.
What do you mean? You know what I mean? Mint chocolate chip. You got like what Listerine with little chocolate chips in it. Who the hell wants that? Who craves that? What the hell's wrong with you if you crave that?
Oh, I could crave a nice mint chocolate chip.
Really?
Even though I kind of give that off as if I was ripping it, as if why would that be your choice? I might have done that. I told you I eat anything. I'll go for a nice mint chocolate chip.
All right, so you and I are from similar families in that we don't turn down ice cream. I get it. No, it was never a thing for me. If anything, I enjoy the hot fudge sundae. I have become an elitist in sorts in that and obviously I've mentioned the Italian thing enough already on this show alone, but Angelini. I do prefer a nice gelato over the regular old ice cream more than anything in the world. There you go. And if I'm being particular, I enjoy the tiramisu or the tiramisu gelato more than any other ice cream or gelato flavor that is on the planet.
Okay, I'd enjoy that as well, so I'm not anti. But anyway, back on track to the Sixers. How did we get to tiramisu?
I don't know. As sweet as Ben Simmons' jump shot.
Hey,
I don't know. Yeah. So what do you think of the Sixers?
Danny Green's comments.
Danny Green's comments. So we talked about it last week a lot in terms of I think we treat our athletes exactly as we should treat our athletes in the city. What do you make of his comments?
Yeah, I think it's out of touch for sure. My thing is there's controllables and uncontrollables in sports. And the fan reaction is a controllable if you're a player. You play well, we react well. If you play bad, we react bad. We're only reacting to what you give us. We're not just screaming and booing you because you're playing great basketball. If you play great basketball, you're going to be loved and we're going to love you. And we're just holding you accountable. So if you're underachieving, as Danny Green even said, we kind of overlooked our opponent. So you overlooked your opponent, yet the reaction by the fans was unfair. I mean, please tell me how that makes sense. So we are just basing our feelings off of what you provide for us. Therefore, you could change the narrative. Play better basketball.
Well said. Well said. Hunter Brody, how is it that you get it and that professional athletes in this town just don't get it? How is that?
You know, Farzi, I've said that about a lot of things in life, about a lot of different things. You know, it's not just sports. You know, it's clearly food. I'm knowledgeable about the ice cream, coffee. I'll tell you what, I am addicted right now. And this is not something I'm proud of saying because it's $4.95 every single time I go. But I can't stop sitting in that Starbucks drive-thru getting the white chocolate mocha cold brew. I swear to God, it's every morning. It's like I won't get one tomorrow morning. And then here I am at 8:30. I'm like, hey, Nancy. Yeah, the regular? Yes, thanks. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what am I doing? So it's ice cream, it's food, it's sports. I mean, come on. It's coffee. You name it.
Now, you hold on just a damn minute there, son. You mean to tell me if I'm tuning in for coffee with Brodes, it'll be an iced coffee of sorts from Starbucks?
So that's my pre-coffee coffee. That's my coffee before the coffee. But what I did do was I just bought the Starbucks coffee for at home.
There's no warm-up lap to coffee.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm a sixer a day.
Okay, all right.
People buy 6 packs of beer. I go 6 packs of coffee.
God bless you.
I eat my ice cream. Yeah, I have my ice cream. I have my coffee.
So, Starbucks run, and then you go to the regular home brew, Brodes Spectacular, Brodes of Chino. What do you go with? What's next?
At home. So I wake up and it's just your good old, I got Starbucks, I got Wawa, I got Dunkin' Donuts. It's whatever I'm feeling that day. I have a Ninja. You want a cold brew, you want regular, you want bold.
Gotcha.
I can make tea. You know, I just go with your standard black cup of Joe, basic. That's for coffee with Brodes. And then my post-show coffee, I get a little weird. You get a little French vanilla, a little hazelnut, a little sugar in there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You're insane. You've lost your damn mind.
Oh, me. Look at you right now. I lost my mind.
My team just won a championship in all of Europe, which is a whole continent we're not on right now. But anyway, all right. So last time you and I spoke, you were all about possibly trading Ben Simmons for Zach LaVine was one of them. CJ McCollum was another one. There's another crazy person you mentioned that I was not on board with, but that's where you were. I am still open shut case Dame Lillard, and that's pretty much it. Everybody else I'm willing to at least have a conversation about. Where are you right now in terms of Ben Simmons and being traded from Philadelphia? Where are you at right now?
Okay, Damian Lillard or bust. Go all in and put everything together until you swing and miss and strike out. So you're going all in on Damian Lillard. After that, Bradley Beal, I'm doing that. And this is the thing. I always ask myself, what's the floor? And I guess what scares me about this is you can always find these Malcolm Brogdon packages, this Colin Sexton packages. So you can try everything for the Damian Lillard, strike out, and you can pick up that phone, and Indiana is not going to shut down their trade offer because you waited time. So those are always going to be in play. And I guess if you can't get any of the big stars, would I be willing to do it for Malcolm Brogdon and a first? Like, here's my thing. I'd have to look money, financially, things of that nature. But what if you can get a Lowry and a Brogdon with Seth Curry, Tobias, and Embiid? So if you just think 1-for-1, Brogdon for Ben Simmons, of course, you're probably going to throw up in your mouth and not like that at all. But
Right.
What if it's Brogdon and a first-round pick and then a corresponding move that would free up some opportunities that you can maybe maneuver another piece in there? I don't know the Lowry money, the sign and trade, this and that. You know, you're going to have to get a little interesting in that.
Right.
But that's the concept I'm trying to look at, where that's one move. But what if Morey makes 2 or 3 moves after trading Ben for Brogdon? That makes you feel more comfortable.
Okay, so in that realm, I am still having a conversation similar to the way I am with Zach LaVine, with CJ McCollum, and pretty much anybody else not named Dame Lillard. But I'm probably, again, I'd have to see all the aesthetics to it. I'm probably not making that move because I still feel like I need that one guy that will be able to hit that outside shot, create that outside shot for this Sixers offense. I still feel like so much of this revolves around that one guy being able to make plays. and Malcolm Brogdon's not going to do that for you. Kyle Lowry might be able to do that in quarters 1 through 3, but in terms of quarter 4, I think the guy that really does that is Dame Lillard, unfortunately, for that trade.
I don't disagree with you. Yeah, you're definitely still missing that like legitimate piece, but I guess if your alternative is Ben Simmons coming back, how does he come back from being mocked on the SBs? He's now a national joke.
Yeah.
I'm saying not, like people are making fun of him and with comedians and things of that nature. How do you bring him back now and think, what's the regular season going to be like? 82 games of watching him play where it's almost irrelevant. Those 82 regular season games of Ben Simmons, if he returns, is basically irrelevant because all we're going to be saying is, will this even matter when you come to the postseason? So it's just a hard ass to bring him back at this point.
No, you're absolutely right. So where can I send that ice cream and $50 to for Doc Rivers using so much of the bench talent in the playoffs?
Don't worry. You know what? For Italy winning, I'll give you $50 and some ice cream. How's that?
As long as you tell that sweet mother of yours to say hello.
Oh, Angelini.
As much as I want to deny that has anything to do with how much I like you, I can't.
I know. You're not the first Italian I've ever spoken to. I understand how this process works. There's a reason why the third or fourth time we did this, I was in the back of my head. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Last thing for you here. Jake Voracek, Nolan Patrick, who is least likely to be on the Flyers next year?
It's a good question. I'm hearing, how about that? I'm hearing that the Flyers are interested in moving a big contract. So it's either Voracek or JVR that seems to be the hottest noise right now with this whole Seattle and the expansion draft. So I'll probably say Voracek over Nolan Patrick, even though, the Nolan Patrick experience might be done here as well. But just because I do know that one of the bigger contracts is definitely something that they are trying to move with the Seattle situation, I'll say Jake Voracek, even though I did hear that maybe JVR is another one of those contracts that's being discussed. But I'll say Voracek, even though I don't know what's in the future for Nolan Patrick here. I don't think that there's going to be a lot of success here, unfortunately. But, yeah, maybe it's both. Maybe both of them are gone. Who knows?
I will say that I don't think either want to be here in Philadelphia for the foreseeable future. Let's just put it that way. Things could change, but as of right now, I don't think either want to be here for the long haul. And we'll see what the expansion draft does for either of these players in terms of maybe motivating them as to their current standing. We'll see where that goes.
They're probably not the only ones either. Unfortunately, there's things going on in that locker room that it's crazy. It's night and day. It's when Alain Vigneault first got here, they had the best locker room. It felt like it was a brotherhood. They went on a nice ride. They were down. They fought back against the Islanders. It was a fun series. Provorov overtime game winners and whatnot. And now it basically seems AV and the boys are not on the same page. And it's a little concerning for me. So, we'll see. Who knows? Winning hockey games early on, though, could totally change the tone. There was once a time they really loved him, and right now, once you start losing, it seems to go the other way. So if you start winning again, does everyone get back on the train? Possibly. But right now, inside the locker room, it seems to be a little iffy.
What do they call it? Deodorant? Winning is the best deodorant. So
I think that's it. I didn't know where you were going with just deodorant.
I was looking for some.
No, probably after all the sweating in that bar, you guys going crazy. I saw the video you put up on Twitter. I mean, whew, going nuts. Those PKs, I'll tell you what, there, Farzy. Those PKs, thrilling.
Hey, the only thing that made it more authentically Italian was that there wasn't air conditioning. That's it. The wine, the Peroni, that's all fine.
So a lot of men with their shirts off jumping in one area a little drunk? Is that where we were at there?
That gentleman may have been intoxicated. And I was just a patron enjoying the sight.
It wasn't you.
No, of course. I was trying to watch a game, man. I got to try to report on a game.
Oh, that's right. I'm sure you just had all the X's and O's written down in your notepad.
I was trying to explain to everybody, how this attack differed from Andrea Pirlo's attack in Italy from years prior versus the attack that we saw today. So yeah, I was just trying to break it down for the good people, for my my fratelli, if you will. Hunter Brody. Make sure you check him out as always on YouTube. You can check out Hunter Brody. with Coffee with Brodes. You can check out Brodes Media as well. You can hear him on 97.5 The Fanatic as well. Hunter Brody, Brodes, my dear brother, say hi to your sweet mother for me. Always great having you on the show, my friend.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Hey, Forza Azori. There we go.
C. Is that a bad way to end it?
No, that's a perfect way to end it. You kidding me? You told me to hit record at a random moment, and I did. And I think our audience got that. And now I'm going to hit end broadcast at this exact moment. Now. Wait.